Well, hi there, and welcome to another episode of Thrive with Mulunji. We are visual. Hey, my name is Mulunji, and this is my place and yours to grow and have conversations that matter. And I'm super excited to have you for this episode. Today, I have guests. Oh, yes, and this particular episode is proudly brought to you by SOS Children's Villages, and we're talking all things 16 days of activism. Hello and welcome to this episode of Thrive with Mulunji. I know, right? We are visual today, and I hope that you are excited for this particular episode. It's going to be very special and very different from the ones that I usually have. And in case you are new here, my name is Mulunji, and this is our space. Yes, you and I get to talk about life in its fullness. We get to have conversations that count. And today I have guests with me. Yes, I am not by myself. But first, have you given me a follow yet? At Thrive with Mulunji, that is on Instagram. But you could also check us out on AudioMac, Spotify, as well as Buzzsprout for any other episode that you had missed. Today is very special because I am hosting a group of activists that are doing an amazing job with children, women, and people that are living in vulnerable areas. And I know you might be wondering, what are we going to be talking about today? Well, it's very simple. Every 25th all the way till the 10th of December, from November to December, is 16 days of activism. And basically the world stops to try and raise awareness about the violence that women and girls experience. And there's a lot of campaigns, lots of organizations point out different issues. So today I am joined by Gilbert, all the way from SOS Uganda, and of course my other guest, who I'm saving best for last, who's going to tell us all about herself. And why we're having this conversation is because in response to the 16 days of activism, SOS Children's Villages has brought you this particular episode to highlight what they are doing on ground, like the Ugandans love to say. What are they doing to make sure that they are fighting against gender-based violence? But before we start, ladies first, as they say. Welcome to Thrive with Mulunji. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Thank you so much, Mulunji.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Gorreti and Eliezar.
Yes.
The head of programs at Generation Health Initiative. It's a youth-based organization based in Nkomba and operating in areas of Sango and Nakoka parishes. Though it's based in Nkomba, but still we widen our scope to those areas.
Thank you so much for joining us
You're
today.
welcome.
It's so good to have you. And of course, over here is a very shy but passionate person, Gilbert. Gilbert, welcome. How is SOS doing?
Thank you so much for hosting us today. SOS is doing well.
Yes.
Yeah, I will say I'm shy.
No, thank you so much for making time.
Yes, yeah.
So real quick, tell us about SOS, the fastest things that come to your mind. We know that it's a children's village, and it has expanded and is working towards making sure that children in Uganda, especially vulnerable children, are taken care of, their rights are being respected. What else have I missed in this equation?
Thank you so much. I'm very sorry to tell you about SOS Children's Villages,
Yes.
Uganda. SOS Children's Villages Uganda is a child-focused social development and non-government organization. SOS Children's Villages Uganda seeks a world where children live or belong to families and live with love, respect, and security. Children who have lost parental care and children who are at a risk of losing parental care from their parents, they are mainly our area of focus. We run two programs. First of all is the family strengthening program, where we empower families and families to address concerns which may lead to children to lose parental care. So we empower families such that they can address concerns which may cause children to lose parental care.
Yes, and the other one?
And then we have the alternative care program, which we call the family care program, where we take care of children who have lost parental care at our villages. we make sure that they grow in families with love, respect, and sexuality. Other side, the family care. So we have children's villages in Uganda where we keep those children. So children grow in a community, in an environment which looks like a family-like environment. We have 4 villages in Uganda. That is in Entebbe, where I work from. We have a village in Kashibi. We have a village in Gulu and Fort Portal. We've also expanded our operations to Mayuge, but basically here we are working under the family sponsoring program to strengthen families to address the concerns which may lead to children to lose their parental care.
Because I know that SOS does so much work, we may not be able to cover it within this period. If someone wants to read more about the work, the amazing work that you and your team are doing, are you on social media? Where can they find these details? Because we could talk till the cows come home. But we are in a digital era now, and where can someone find? Are you on Twitter? Do you have a website? Could you just give us those details real quick?
Okay, thank you so much. SOS Children in Uganda. Find us on Facebook. Our Facebook account is SOS Children's Villages Uganda.
Okay.
And then we also have a Twitter account. And this is at SOS Uganda. That's on X.
Oh, no, that's on Twitter X. Uganda SOS.
Yes.
So please go and give them a follow so that you can get real-time engagement and information on the different projects that they're doing, because I mean, you could know a child that needs to get the care and help that SOS Uganda gives. Now, before I let you go, Gilbert, going back to our discussion today of 16 days of activism and what SOS Children's Villages is doing, there is this project that is currently being run. And I love the response to engage with the different cultural leaders and religious leaders. So could you just briefly tell us about it? When did it start? How is it going? And all that good stuff.
Thank you so much, Luigi. We are implementing the Eco project, Highway to a Sustainable Life.
Yes.
The project is being implemented in Uganda and Ethiopia. Here in Uganda, the project is implemented in Wachiso district.
Okay.
So specifically in Katari Town Council and Gajas Town Council. And then it is also implemented in Kabarole district, that's in Fort Portal and Bamanja, refugee settlement. So we extend those parts the refugee settlement. So we have some humanitarian intervention. Yes. The main aim of the project is to build communities that promote equal rights, opportunities, and access to resources for women and girls in all their diversity, regarding green economic opportunities and social protection.
When did this project start?
The project started this year.
Oh, so it's still a baby.
Yes.
How is it going so far?
Yeah, it's moving on well. We are involving a lot of stakeholders. Given the fact that this project is a gender market project, so it looks at transforming gender norms. So it's a gender transformative project. So we are engaging a lot of stakeholders, and this includes religious, cultural, and opinion leaders. We are working closely with them to shift the harmful social and gender norms that perpetuate to gender inequality and GBV. And we are also engaging men and boys to transform any harmful norms that perpetuate to yes, and also improving on their masculinity. I'm also happy to inform that this project was informed by the gender diversity and inclusion analysis, which we conducted in these areas, specifically in Wachiso district and in Kabarole.
From what I'm hearing, it's doing amazing, and the beauty is we actually have some of those leaders that are going to be joining us for this conversation. So Gilbert is, like he said, please do check out SOS Villages on the social media platforms so that you can have more details. But like I said, we are here to mostly see how far this project, the Eco project is doing, and we're also going to talk to some of the religious leaders and what they are doing, courtesy of SOS Children's Villages and their communities. So we are continuing with our conversation about 16 days of activism, but what SOS Children's Villages is doing. As we heard from Gilbert, they are working to engage women, girls, men at grassroots levels, religious leaders. They have partnering organizations, and joining us for this to further this conversation is a gentleman on my right. Eliezar is a religious leader, and he's going to tell us briefly about what he does. Gorreti already said something about herself. So, Eliezar, real quick, what do you do, and what is your full name?
My friend, I'm Eliezar Nkaku from Nakauka
What did I say?
in Mamba.
What did I mamba? So what do you do?
I'm working with the SOS, but I'm a religious leader from a Seventh-day Adventist church, and I'm serving with the in Nakauka SDA church. Yes.
So usually in churches, our locally have pastors, and what do we call Seventh-day Adventist leaders?
We have pastors, we have church elders. As me now, I am church elder.
You're a church elder.
Yeah, seconding the pastor.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Gorreti, for you at your church, what do you do?
That's my church. I sing.
You sing. Amazing. So let's talk about as a partnering organization with this particular project. In your experience, what has it been like? What are some of the challenges you faced? Because Gilbert talked about breaking stereotypes, but as a partnering organization, what have you noticed on ground?
Thank you so much, Madam. Basically, with SGCI, on our groundwork in the community, we've really faced a challenge in our implementation, being that men, regarding the Grow Eco project, men find it very hard to change their gender norms. For example, if at all we are talking about changing norms that are not written anywhere, you find that men think that when they try to change, they'll be
Less masculine?
yes, they'll be less masculine, as if they are bewitched by women. So they find it very hard changing them to become normal men because they don't lose a thing when they do things the wise. What a woman can do, or a man can do, washing plates and all of things are very, very simple and minor. So
For them, when you're interacting with them, they think if they start washing dishes, something is wrong with them.
hard, something is very wrong, as if they are bewitched, as if they are not men
enough, yes.
to be a husband. How can I see my husband washing plates? Even at the same level with my women, they find it as what were the communities?
I'm bewitched by a woman.
I bewitched my husband. Start washing plates, dishes, and also mopping house or taking children to school. Yeah, very challenging.
But what are some of the success stories? What have you seen that has changed so far? Because that one, it's going to be around for a while, but at least I'm glad that through this eco project you are engaging to change the mindset. What are some of the pluses you've seen?
The pluses for our implementation since they have become, we've engaged several men, including the leaders themselves, the LCs and the religious leaders. So in their preaching, in their services, they preach the gospel of what should men do differently to bring these women closer, even with much love. So you find that most families have adopted to the new change. You find a husband, a man in their homes being engaged with house chores. In some families, at least we've served around 130 families.
Yes.
With dialogues, and you find that at least 45, they have changed, they are transforming, and which is a plus to our side because it hasn't been so easy when you're implementing. And another thing is that men have learned to talk to their children. As parents, not leaving it to women.
The women, yes.
It's because your mother, you have to nurture your child, the husband is just looking for the money. So these men have engaged in also in children upbringing,
sitting with a girl child, sitting with the boys, making them do what girls can also do. So it's a match.
So there's been a bit more reception from the men, even in the community. Now, Elder Eliezar.
Yes, madam.
Religion is one of those things that people use to perpetrate harmful stereotypes. We are told women came from the rib and men, yet when you go to Mulago, all of them are babies, So as a religious leader, as part of this project working with SOS, what would you love to see being done different, especially to the men, because it's been cited that men listen to men more? What have you realized that you think men should adopt?
Yes, thank you, madam. We as religious leaders, we have been struggling within our churches.
Yes.
To take the people, mostly men and women, girls and boys, what they have to do. But we have been doing that within our churches only. But now the great achievement we have is SOS, is that they gather together with Muslims, Catholics, we Seventh-day Adventists, and other religious regions, so that we are now working together within our churches and out to the whole community. Yes, that's the great achievement we have.
There's been a great achievement to work together.
Yeah.
What would you say to a man watching, especially now that we are observing 16 days of activism, given the work that you're doing? What would you have to tell them when it comes to gender-based violence?
Okay, now some many, but not all, because we have been just starting this. They have changed. They have evidences that we are now changing after this project working within us. Yes.
What are some of those changes you've noticed? Yes, because she noticed the fact that now, before children used to be a thing, but now we are seeing they will be now involved, with the nurturing of their families. What else as a religious leader? I ask this because religious leaders hold so much authority. When you're to look at what's happening in Afghanistan, the Taliban came and they've decided to use the Quran. Recently they banned women from visiting hospitals. So you see the power that religion holds. That's why I'm asking, what are some of the changes you would want to see with the men, as this project goes on?
Yeah. Mostly some men, they are now reducing being angry at home, sharing responsibilities at home.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good, very good. They just starting, but we are seeing the achievement that is
that has been achieved so far. All right, so as we probably come to the end of this, I want to know, what are some of the things, especially to someone watching, that you would want to tell them that you've learned through this project that have changed how you look at gender-based violence?
Okay, thank you so much. For the period that we've worked in the community, at least I would call upon the communities and the leaders, basically, to preach the gospel of decision making, shared decisions in the household. Because previously we found that decisions were majorly made by men in the households. But nowadays, we've observed that it's very good to have a shared decision making table. Sit down as couple, decide on what and who to do what. Then the family will have much love, and children will not lose their parental guidance, as well as the community.
Indeed. Thank you so much. What would you say to religious leaders out there who may not understand the role they have to play towards ending gender-based violence, especially against women and children?
Okay, thank you, madam. What I have to say to those religious leaders, that if we have now working with SOS, let us come together without coming with our division is I am a Catholic, I am whatever, no. That's what we have to do, is to work together with SOS and in order to let our community be free and end the
Gender-based violence.
Gender-based violence within the community, starting by Nakauka.
Yes.
And other
So
Uganda.
as you've had it, we all have a role to play, whether you are an organization or if you are a religious leader. Gender-based violence affects all of us as a community. And if we all come together, we will definitely get to see the numbers reduce greatly. Thank you so much for joining me. And thank you so much, SOS, for making this happen. Have a lovely, lovely time. I would actually say Merry Christmas.
And you too, madam.
I was waiting for invitations, but they haven't come. Thank you so much. Catch you guys in the next episode. We are still having another conversation around this particular 16 days of activism. Catch you in the next episode.
When you're late,